listeners, and welcome back to another World Cup episode. As you can see, both me and Gabriel are wearing white. We don't know who to support this weekend between Ireland and between Scotland. Gabsy, I see you've got a stress ball in your hand. What has that got to do with it?
I mean, Cody, I can't believe that the destiny of the Springboks this World Cup is in the hands of Ireland and Scotland. I mean, but yeah, we'll get to that. Let's take it a step back. I
Hmm.
can't believe it's the last round of pool games of this World Cup, man. How times are fly. I think, it just flew by. I can still remember when we were sipping some overpriced beers in Marseille and the south of France, and now here we are. Look at it. Can't believe it. It's
Yeah,
sad.
it's the last weekend of the pool stages. This weekend, hot games that you're going to want to see is firstly maybe also the Portugal versus Fiji game. I know the Australian fans will be watching that one very carefully, and then the South African fans will be watching the Ireland versus Scotland massive clash. Currently, anything can happen. The history
Yeah.
between those two sides, I think they've played each other 140 times in the past. Ireland winning 69 times, with the Scots winning 66. So the Irish just edging them there. But anything can happen in a World Cup. We know this. Anything can happen. The box can fall out. It's possible that they don't even get a quarterfinal spot. However, at this stage, Scotland looks to be the ones falling out. Ireland can still fall out. How does this whole thing work? I mean, we've seen now online the permutations and so on, but maybe explain to the fans, as stupid as I am, this how does it work? How will South Africa still be able to get through to the quarterfinals?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it's rather simple because I also spend a lot of time with this topic, speaking to lots of friends and families. And then at the end of the day, I decided just to look it up myself and just, I found this post that we'll share with you guys because I'm going to basically read it to you because I don't want to say something wrong and then I'm the person that got it wrong. But Gabriel said that this should happen. So I'm going to read it from Supersport. This is from Supersport and this is from a South African
Okay,
perspective.
South
So
African broadcaster. Yeah,
exactly.
hit
Will
us.
South Africa will finish at the top of the group for on two ways. Scotland beats Ireland and don't get a bonus point. So if Scotland beat Ireland, they don't get a bonus point. Second way, Scotland win by a margin between 5 to 20 points and Ireland get a bonus point. So that's how South Africa can end at the top of the pool.
Okay, and
For
top of
South
the pool.
Africa,
All right.
top of the pool. Top of the pool we go through. South Africa to get second place is if Ireland win, will be second. Simple as that. Because
Okay.
Scotland is not going to make it in. They need to get a. I'll get to that. They need a very big point difference. Then Ireland draw of Scotland will still be second place. Scotland win with a bonus point, and Ireland get a bonus point. Will be second place. And then if Scotland win with a bonus point by a margin between 1 to 4 points, and Ireland get a bonus point. So it sounds like a lot. I'll share it here. When you read it, it will make more sense. And we can talk now about different scenarios. Last but not least,
Yeah.
how do we fall out? So how we fall out is basically how South Africa would not progress and Scotland and Ireland proceeds would be if Scotland win with a bonus point by a margin of at least 21 points and Ireland get a bonus point as well. So it means they need to score 4
Okay.
tries. It needs to be a high scoring game. So, I mean,
But okay, you know what, Gabsy? This is all a bit confusing. We'll throw it up on the screen for you guys, and you guys can figure it out with your calculators and your pens.
yeah,
The
please
big
write
question is,
questions. I'm
will
happy to
anything like
answer.
this happen? Should we be worried?
To be honest, Gordon, I don't think any of this matters because I honestly think Ireland's too strong. I think Ireland's going to beat
Ireland's going to
Scotland.
win,
I
right?
think I think they're going to pump them by 20 or more. Yeah, I don't think that Scotland can
Just
beat
throw
Ireland.
away all my notes. I think definitely Irish going to win it. Let's move on to that game, Gabs. Ireland versus Scotland. You know, it's a Six Nations clash between those two. Ireland are currently the favourites in that game. It's interesting to see how Andy Farrell usually, or actually so far in this World Cup, has actually selected his number one side for most of the games, making just a few one or two changes here and there. Um, it's an interesting approach, whereas all the other teams seem to rotate their squads. Is that because they want to get some sort of continuity and build, strength with the squad that they have? The strongest 23, build confidence with that group instead of chopping and changing like we see with Scotland and South Africa.
But Gordon, I think this game is really like, I mean, it's knockout rugby for both teams in a way. Should Ireland risk it and they go and play with some sort of a, let's say, new look side? Let's say they rest Sexton and they play with, like, let's say, not their strongest team. Um, I don't think they want to go that route because I do think, these guys are professional rugby players. They're playing in a World Cup. Why would you risk at any by any means, not going through a World Cup? Because should they not get any sort of a bonus point, let's say Scotland goes for some reason, let's say the score is 12-5, 5 minutes to play, Scotland scores another try, they lose by more than 7 points, they're out of the World Cup. I mean, that's the thing. Do you want to risk that? Do you want to risk
Mm.
having a close game, or you just want to put, the knife in the coffin, take your way to the quarterfinals, and just prove how dominant you've been? I do think they'll
Mm.
play the best
But
team. I think
but
they
the
have to.
thing is also, yeah, no, they definitely have to play their best team, right? I think there's no changing now. Um, I think also, if you want to play against Scotland, you want to win Scotland. We saw it in that South African game as well. You got to play a very structured type of game plan. You got to hit them with the set pieces. You got to hit them with just maybe a bit of boring rugby, a bit of kicking and stuff like that, and just not give Scotland any sort of space to work from, because they love, thriving on sort of not mistakes necessarily, but inaccuracies from other teams. So
Yeah.
if Ireland can play like we all know they can play, and keep it accurate, they will definitely be the winners at the end of this contest. However, if Ireland is a few percentage off of their best game and Scotland come in, because obviously Scotland needs to throw everything at Ireland now if they want to progress. If Ireland is not on their 100% and they're a few percentage off, it could get a bit worrying for the Irish. So I think there's a lot to play for. But let's look
Yeah.
at those standout performers from the Irish. Who is the standout performers there for you?
I mean, I think Johnny Sexton has been phenomenal every game. He's just really like he's the general out there.
He plays, they
Obviously,
win.
Josh,
That's a
yeah,
guarantee.
exactly. Josh van der Fleer is also extremely important for me. I mean, I just want to say one last thing here. I think, honestly, if you have both teams playing their best teams on the day, both playing phenomenal rugby, there's no chance Scotland can beat them. Like, you can be
No,
as optimistic as you
I
want.
agree.
They've played a great game in the
Yeah.
Six Nations. They couldn't do it. I don't see why it will be any different now. I don't think the forwards can match them up front. The Scottish pack is been getting better and better and better, but they can't match up the Irish pack. The Irish pack could somewhat match up to the Springboks. Scotland couldn't do that. Um, yeah, I
Mm,
just want to leave it there. I think that it should be a comfortable game for Ireland if they go into this game with no funny tactics and they go and play their rugby. But
mm.
yeah, I would say Josh van der Fleer, Johnny Sexton. I know it's two regular names, but it's
Bundyaki, geez, that guy's been
Bundiaki.
insane.
Yeah,
But if
so
we look at the other side, let's look at
yeah.
Scotland for now, right? If you put your stress ball down for 1 second and quickly, think about this for a second. They've got Finn Russell, who, in my opinion, and in many opinions, is the best fly off in the world at the moment. He is magic. His passes are super crisp. He directs the attack, which is their strongest weapon. Now, there's a big argument to make. Where do you put Darcy Graham? I mean, he has been. Exceptional for Scotland every time he came off the bench. But you've got Carl Steyn as well. You've got Duan van der Merwe. Like, is there space for him in the starting, or will you bring him onto the field with about 20 minutes to go, 30 minutes to go, see if he can
I
break
would
loose
say,
and
I
score a
mean, for
few of those
me,
magic tries?
yeah, for me against a team like Ireland, I'd leave Darcy Graham on the bench, player 23, give Carsten, Duan van Marve, two big wingers the start. And,
Mm,
once the game opens up a little bit more towards the back end of the game, maybe Darcy Graham could find more space. But in the beginning, I think it's going to be a
mm,
physical game. It's going to be high balls. It's going to be kicking. It's just going to not be
yeah.
pretty to watch, but it's going to be efficient. And for those, yeah,
Mm,
type of tactics, I would play Steyn and Duan van Marve. But I mean, Yeah,
Yeah, I
Goody, we
agree.
could talk about this game for ages. At the end of the day, I have to
Oh,
say,
wait, one more question,
yeah,
right? Hamish Watson, Richie, and Jamie Rich is the captain, right? But
yeah.
Hamish Watson, in my opinion, has been playing better than him. So will they risk it and not put their captain on in the starting lineup? But they can't take any kind of risks now. I mean, they need to go full out for this game. So, anyways, those are my last 2 cents on the game. Maybe
No,
fans,
for
if
sure.
you guys can let me know how this all will work out, that'll be great.
Yeah.
Gabsy, any other games of this weekend that you'll be glued to the screen?
I mean, I'm doing sober October until the Boks play again. That's why I'm so stressed out. I mean, I really hope they play again. But
Mm,
yeah, I think for me, another big game is obviously watching Fiji play Portugal. I honestly don't think Eddie Jones
yeah.
deserved to go out to play in a quarterfinal. So I hope Fiji can win. They deserve that. Anyways, otherwise, I just wanted to say, guys,
France,
please let us
Italy,
know.
New Zealand,
Yeah,
Uruguay.
I
Good
mean,
luck.
yeah, I don't know. Italy talked so big about playing the All Blacks, and look what happened. So that was a big mistake on their end. Anyways, we don't have to go into
Okay.
that. I just want to say, please, guys,
Yeah.
ask questions about this scenarios. Please tell us who do you think will go through. I can say on our
Mm,
on our Instagram pools, it was actually a lot of our South African fans saying that we will not progress, which I was quite shocked about. I think we had like 21% of the voters saying we will not progress. Obviously, like 70% Scotland won't, and a couple of like 10 or so percentage for Ireland. On that note, if you haven't checked out the Rugby Hub spot on Instagram, check it out. Thank you so much for the continuous support. Let us know, do you think we'll progress? And we really appreciate all of your support. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Gori. See you next week.
take it
Thank
easy,
you.
guys.